Hello, and welcome. Oh, wrong screen. There we go. There's Richard. There he is. Right, welcome to the ENG YNPL review show, where today we're going to be talking about, well, obviously the live draw, because Richard loves his live draws. We've got the player of the season nominations. We've got a discussion about the under 12s and under 14, well, under 12 North, under 14 South games. And we're also going to let Hayden in, I believe, this week. Is that correct?
Yes, bringing him in.
Stuff. Right, okay. When are we going to bring him in? A little bit later.
Yeah, we'll bring him in after the other trillion things we're doing. So we're trying to whiz through it as quickly as possible because we know how much Hayden talks.
Oh, yeah. I've already alerted,
I do want to get to bed tonight as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I might need a toilet break halfway through as well,
Hopefully. Well, what he's got to say is very insightful. So what we do is we'll whiz through the draw. We'll get through the draw. We're going to talk about the nominations for the ENG Netball Player of the Year. We're going to talk about, obviously, the weekend's games, go through, the table, show you the highlight reels, and then hopefully by, I would say, 8 o'clock, 8:15, Martin, we'll be ready for Hayden. Hopefully, we're going to give him a 45-minute window of opportunity to get his point across, and from that point on, I'll be gone. And if you want to carry on, you can carry on, Martin.
I'm going to put a little clock here. T-minus 45 minutes.
But to get us started, we're going to do the draw for the ENG Under-10s Netball Cup Southern and Eastern Finals. We were hoping to get these filled up. We're nearly there. Maybe after tonight, I reckon they will fill up once we do the draw. Once we do the regional rounds for the other ones, because teams who potentially won't get in the top 4 might think, you know what, I'm going to give it another crack in the East or the South. So, but what we do is we kind of pretend we've got 10 teams, and we've got 9 teams there. So the team that isn't there, we just put them in as to be confirmed. And then when a team, say again,
I've got 8 teams for the East.
Yeah, so we put the 8 teams in first and to be confirmed in A and B. So but at least this gives you a clear idea of who you're going to be playing, so I can get the fixtures out to all the teams. As like I said last week, make sure you book online before attending these events. That we expect a very busy morning and afternoon. Very, very well spectated, these competitions. So please book online. We can't guarantee you a seat on the day if you rock up on the day. And it will be more on the door as well. So that creates more work for us. So ideally, we need you to book online. So when you come, we can just scoot you through. Ideally, we don't want to be messing around with taking payments on the door because it's going to be very busy. And especially Sunday, also, you have multiple football teams and there's just so much going on there. Everyone's coming from different directions as well. So very hard to keep on top of. So do me a favor and make sure you book online so we have less stress
on the day.
That's the plan. So we're more organised, and plus I've got to pick up a load of chairs. So it'd be nice to know how many roughly I need to pick up. I always pick up more than I should do, but just I love a bit of peace of mind. So yeah, peace of mind is good. So please give me a bit of peace of mind.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. So if you don't book it beforehand, there might not be enough seats for you people.
No, I think for the under. I think it's going to be touch and go. So if you don't book online and you rock up, you're probably just going to have to stand to the side until we sign everyone in. Because we might not have enough seats. So please book online and be organised, and let's be all prepared for what's going to be a fantastic competition. But let's start. We've got South. Is this a South? Yep, it's a South.
This is East.
Oh, it's East. There you go. East. We've got the East. In the East should be 9 teams. Oh, no. Sorry, Martin. There's a team in that file I sent you. So if you can put number 9 as a team called Star Netball, if you can do that.
I will do it right now. Is it with an S or with a Z?
STAR.
Star Netball. Right. There we go. Look, the power of computing. Look at that.
There you go. So yeah, there you go. So we just one team. If anyone's out there who wants to put another team in, let me know. We can get you in as number 10 in the next couple of minutes.
Number 10.
So we got
Downing Street.
So we got AP Saints, We got Paul, we got Turnford, we got Watson, Hatfield, Essex. We got a new club or a new team entering into this comp. Nice to see some new clubs, Stamford and Rutland. So welcome, Stamford and Rutland. They have sent me the Pacific team names, but we'll stick with A and B for now. And Star Netball number 10 is obviously a to be confirmed team. And let's move. Let's get on with it. People at home might be thinking, just stop talking, get on with it. So here we go. I've got my Chinese tub. And here we go. First one out is in Group A, number 9.
Number 9, we have Star Netball.
There you go.
Welcome to it all. And yes, you are straight up there in Group A.
Next out, number 2.
Number 2, we have Pool Netball. Ooh, in Group B at the top of.
Group A, here we go.
Number 10.
Strange team name, isn't it? TBC.
2BC or not 2BC? That's there we go. Boom.
There you go. So hopefully we can find a team to fill that gap.
There was a team out there called TBC, right?
In Group B, number 3.
Right, let's have it in the chat, people. We have Paul versus Stanford.
Number 7.
Number 7. Right, who we got.
Stamford and Rutland A.
Yeah. There we go. They're in.
You know, like when Man United play Arsenal and they still try and cling on to the old rivalry. So when I was growing up, the Arsenal-Man United rivalry was massive, 90s, early 2000s. And to this day, in 2024, it's like Man United versus Arsenal. And it's kind of like, it doesn't really...
Not the same.
It's not the same anymore. But they still, a bit like me and you, Martin, we're just clinging on for it. Do you know what I mean?
Always, mate. Always clinging on. No funny comments, please.
Number 5, Group B.
Hatfield Polly. Can't help it. Every time I hear that name.
In Group A, number 1.
Number 1, AP Saints. Oh,
in Group B.
Hang on. Let it update, mate. There we go, finally. Yep, go on.
Stamford and Rutland B.
Stanford. Oh, so they're not playing against each other then. Oh. Are they happy? Are you happy with that?
Last team in Group A will be number 4.
Number 4. We've already had one number 4 out. Joke.
Watson. Oh, that's a tough old group. No, it's a mixed bag. I thought if Watson would have got in the other one, it'd have been like, ooh. Number 6, Essex Open. There you go. There you go.
Mate, I think Group B is
so under 10s players. Are you happy with that? If you're watching at home, are you happy? We don't know nothing about the quality of under 10s teams, so it's all new to us. But we do know a lot of these clubs have, they're very consistent with the quality of team they provide to our competitions. So we're going to base it on that. So Star Netball Group A, welcome to the welcome to ENG. To be confirmed is the other team. Stamford and Rutland A. AP Saints and Watson Park make up the rest of the teams in Group A. And in Group B, Paul, Turnford, Hatfield, Stamford and Rutland B, and Essex Open. Well, hopefully the Essex Open team are just as entertaining as their under 14s, Martin.
Mate, judging by the team and how they are, I can't see it not being. You've got some good names there, and they know how to make a team. So even though they're under 10s, that's, to me, it's honestly, I look at that and I go, Group B. Obviously, I don't know really Stanford and Rutland and Star Netball. So really, everything points to Hatfield coming through as well into the EG ranks as well. And you can see how well they're starting to perform. It's, mate, that's going to look interesting.
It's going to be good.
What's also sad, right, is you got the Paul Turnford thing.
Yeah.
And they've got to live up to that.
Well, we the under 12s game in the league probably didn't live up to expectation. Because again, to recreate what was created was, I think, it's just very hard, isn't it? It's going to be very hard to find that rivalry again. We're trying our best to dig up something, but it's
what are we talking about?
gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. That was a once in a lifetime rivalry. That was. Next up,
an organic rivalry. That's what that was. It
was real. It was the real deal, wasn't it, mine?
Yeah, it was. It was the Raw in the early days before anything of live streaming. Because you got to think, live streaming netball. It's totally new. It really hasn't been done, sort of thing. We brought this in, and it's like you could see it building up. It was just over the years as well.
Cool. It was the perfect storm. The perfect storm. Definitely. We're going to move on to the south now.
Yep. Okay. Right. Are you going to do 10 teams, or are you going to do?
No. So we should have 8 there in the south. So have you got Shan? Is Shan? Oh yeah. So if you put number 8 as Shan.
Yep. Done.
And what I'll do, I'll take 9 and 10 out. So we're still two groups of 5. Well, it potentially could be just 2 groups of 4, but hopefully we'll find 2 more teams to make up the group of 5. So if I take out 9 and 10, to be fair, it wouldn't be that bad if we had a group of 8 here, because it's the only time I'm hired a venue and there's something happening after my event. So I've got to clear the venue out in good time to make sure I don't overrun. So 2 groups of 4, decent in terms of getting the event done quick. So but then God's gonna go, okay, nice one. Gonna make you work a little bit harder now. I'm gonna send you 2 teams, and you're gonna be packing the chairs up while the final's on. You know what I mean? One of those ones. Okay, so Stars A, Stars B. I met the Stars teams in our World Cup theme competition. Decent teams. So looking forward to seeing Stars. Another term for team. I was just thinking, if I duplicated them, but I haven't. They did want 2 teams. Magic, Team Bridge, Sutton Town, Hearts Dynamos, and Shan. So decent lineup of teams there. So
I think they're both going to be groups of death, mate.
Yeah, it does look that way, doesn't it?
It does, mate. I don't think there's a matrix of putting them in that wouldn't make it a group of death, because they're all good teams. There we go.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Hearts Dynamos, a team probably I would like to get more involved in our stuff. They do produce some really good teams and really good high quality teams. And I'd love to be able to obviously get them into the leagues and give them a bigger platform to showcase what they're all about. But they're here. So apart from Hearts Dynamos, the rest of these teams play in our leagues and stuff. So Hearts Dynamos, but I can assure you, decent performance-based team. So it's going to be a good one, Martin. So let's go. First one out is number 2, Stars Netball Club B.
There we are. Doom, they're in. Number A. Oh.
Next out, number 4.
Number 4, which is Magic. You head up the group B. There you go.
Next out, there we go. Stars, nice little rivalry there for you. Stars A.
Okay, training's going to be interesting at the grounds. Although I know the system's just done see that the system is a bit like, oh my word, what's going on there? There you go.
Number 8, Shan in Group B. In Group A, number 6, Sutton Town. There we go. It's a group of death already, isn't it?
Mate, you know it. Really good coaches. Mate, they both are anyway, to be fair.
Number 7, Group B.
Hearts Dynamos. Oh, you're happy about that, Hearts Dynamos, that you're playing against Magic and Shan. So, yeah.
In Group A, number 5, Team Bridge.
TTNC. Yeah. Which then leaves us with Turnford, isn't it?
Finally, in Group B, number 3, Turnford.
And there we go.
There you go. And if we do find 2 more teams, they'll just slot into either group. The first team who signs up will go into A. Second team B. I can almost guarantee that some teams who probably don't qualify in the Midlands, because this regional heat in the Midlands is kind of a combination of high performance Northwest teams and high performance Midlands teams. I can imagine some of those teams, because it is such a tough competition, would be like, okay, That was one hell of a tough competition. Let's give this one a go. So I can guarantee after this weekend, we'll probably fill those 2 spaces anyway from teams wanting to prove that they are capable of competing in our national finals. Actually, and I was a bit.
It's just a hard group.
Well, I was a bit worried because the lady wasn't getting back to me from the venue. She said to me, "Oh yeah, you know, it's available, this, that, and the other," and never got back to me. I'm like, keep emailing. You know, I'm like, when I get something in my head, Martin, I'm like, please, get back to me. And finally, she got back to me. So it's all confirmed. April the 14th at the Stoke Mandeville Stadium. 2 seconds, mate.
All right, not a problem. Please hold. There we go. You're back.
So we're all sorted for the national finals. Nice and close for you, Martin. No, not a lot of drive in there.
Just the lights is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, you need to go down there and give it a test. But Group A, Stars, Sutton Town, Teambridge, and Group B, Magic, Shan, Hearts, Dynamos, Turnford. I can almost guarantee we've filled those other 2 spaces up after the weekend. But if there's any teams out there who would like to be involved in probably the first ever under-10s national netball competition that's ever taken place in this country or anywhere probably in the world, in the netball world, get involved. You're never too young to learn competition. My brother's had an absolute nightmare in Scotland, so he's put a football event on, and this is why, to a certain extent, I like netball, because it's kind of untouched. And I think I told the story last week, but he put a football competition on. The Scottish FA got involved and tried to tell everyone not to enter it because it's competition, it's competitive. They wanted him to kind of align with their policies and their guidance and stuff. And he was more than kind of happy to kind of hear him out, and he kind of said, yeah, okay, I'll run it as a non-competitive event, but can you get back to me? Can you confirm you're happy to kind of authenticate this your end? They never got back to him, but while they weren't getting back to him, they were telling all the clubs, don't enter. So in typical Tweed fashion, he went into the WhatsApp group and said, I'm sick and tired of this. I'm running it as a competitive competition. If you don't want to play, I'll give you a refund. If you do want to play, then I can provide your team and your players with a good competition, right? With that, everyone asked for a refund. So, and this is where we've got to in 2024, where we're running away from reality. Like it beggars belief how people have this notion that being competitive is detrimental to someone's mental health or their development. It's not the competition, it's how you deliver the competition. That's the difference. Like if you've got someone on the sideline, just it's all, win, you're rubbish. Yeah, of course that's going to be detrimental. But if it's delivered in the right way and kids are guided through a process, then it's hugely beneficial to them. But it's no different to like kids when they go to school and they're doing spelling tests and this test and that test, and they're doing it from a silly age. And you think, okay, so you go to school and you get 10 out of 10 on the spelling test, and everyone, that's fine. But then a kid gets 1 out of 10. But when it comes to sport, we're just going to take away the opportunity to thrive from a young age. Hold on a minute. But when I was growing up, my best years were when I was young. The success I had actually diminished the older I got. So if people like we have, like the Scottish FA, stopped me from being competitive when I was, like, say, from the age of 8 to, say, 12, in particular, I had a lot of success from the age of 8 to 12, I would never have had that success. And you'd never hear the boring story of the Wembley appearance, Martin.
Do you know what? I'm just thinking about that. I was thinking that could have saved me so much problem.
Yeah, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wish they would have done that, mate. But you're taking something away from someone which they want to engage with. If you don't want to engage in it, don't engage with it. But governing bodies in particular, it's a message to all governing bodies. Any of you watching this right now, is a message to you. You cannot interfere and try and dictate how people choose to engage with certain products and services. You are not the mafia. You are not the Mexican cartel. You are not the British government.
Mate, I'm just like, I don't know if I should stop this stream because I think there's something going to happen, mate. I'm just, hang on, I'm just
There
going to
is
look
something called,
make sure there's not a sniper shot going on somewhere.
yeah. There is
Hey,
something called. There is something that protects people against competition law. There is a thing called competition law. Now, UEFA went to court, and they basically got told you cannot threaten and dictate to the clubs in your leagues that they can't enter this Super League that's trying to start up. So they were told in court, you cannot do that. You cannot threaten and coerce people into and telling them how they spend their money. So stop. Like, just act professional, act like an adult, and if people choose to engage in something that is above the law, then doing nothing wrong, then you cannot mess around with that. And thankfully, the competition law department, so my brother tagged in the CEOs and stuff of these institutions. They're on the Scottish FA. They are at them, and potentially he can get all his money that he had earned. He fully booked it out. He can get it back in compensation.
There we go.
So just let people be free to do what they want to do. And again, like this weekend, unbelievably, the county pathway in the Northwest have stuck their under 13s competition, their under 13s play date on our league date. And they did it again in March. Like, they can pick any other date, but they decided we're going to pick ENG dates. And that's the third time now, Martin, that's happened.
This year already, isn't it? Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
But it's under 13s. It's the third time that's happened in a row. The under 12s one, they tried sticking on my league date and they had to cancel it because people turned around and said, hold on a minute, we've got a prior commitment. But these are the people that dictate and govern your sports people, not mentally okay. So finished? grow up.
Woo! There you go, people. Richard's on one tonight. You heard it live.
Just grow up. Stop being a 5-year-old. Like, let people, like, just allow people to be free to choose what they want to do.
People are free. The point is, they've got to make the choice, as always in life.
No, but they're being threatened and coerced by grown adults, which is the most, like, if you've made a commitment to something and you go against that commitment, then obviously there's going to be a blowback. But if you've made so what they do is that they get kids to sign something and say, you will not, if we put out an event, it supersedes anything else you're going to do. But we're not going to put the events out. So we're going to allow you to make commitments. And then at the last minute, we're just going to throw out a load of events. And then basically you're going to have to drop everything. Otherwise, you'll be banned from playing.
They'll be banned if they...
Yeah, they say, we're not going to consider you for selection. So then the poor kids and the parents are then forced to basically disrupt everyone else who are organised, because otherwise they're going to be banned and threatened and taken out of pathways and all this type of stuff.
Well, to be fair, this is happening in the banger racing. Obviously, I use Stansted Raceway. That's an independent track. But the big main track holders who've got like 4 or 5 tracks around the country, they say to the people, when you drive at their track, you can't drive your cars at any other track that's not part of their track, as in part of their product, their private corporation, whatever. And now Stansted gets questions of saying, oh, if we drive yours, can we drive here? Or is it allowed? And like, you can drive wherever you want. You know what I mean?
Want, yeah.
It's up to you. You come here, pay your money, and you can drive on this independent track. We don't care where you drive, yeah. But then he's had people pull out, Stansted has, because these big main bodies who are doing the banger racing have turned around and said, if you do, you'll be banned from driving at their tracks. And that's like, well, hang on a sec. It's not like they give them money to put the banger cars on. So I think that's well out of order. So
it's rife. It's completely and utterly rife. And especially when I actually look at the netball landscape at the start of the year and go, right, I want to avoid all regional games. I want to avoid all schools, Netball England events. So I contact everyone and say, do you know the dates? Do you know the dates of this? Do you know the dates of this? And I'm constantly working my way around all these different dates. Wound, yeah. But again, the lack of consideration for ENG, they just have to accept we are a big part of netball now. We're a big part of the children's kind of experience in netball. Our experience is 10 times better than your experience. So just calm down. Just stop disrupting kids who actually really enjoy coming to our leagues and cups and stuff like that. Just stop, please.
Okay. Right, let's move on. I don't right. I don't see you grovel, mate. So please, it's just
no. I'm for the sake of them, and
come on, for the sake of the kids, do it.
Yes. So, next up, yes, I'm going to talk through the So I put out something last week. We tried to get it in a more personal arena where basically people turn up and we have a meal and we give out the awards on the evening. Probably my inability to kind of focus on it was the reason why it didn't happen. So hopefully next year we can get it going in person, but I'm going to but we're doing an online thing, so I still think it's special. I still think it's good for the kids to get that recognition. So we've got a online awards. So this goes out to the we've got clubs and we've got coaches, but I'm going to focus tonight on the players who have been nominated as junior, senior, and altogether the players of the year. So I'm going to explain why we nominated them. So if anyone's kind of thinking, well, who do I pick? Then maybe my reasoning will help them pick their favorite.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So we're going to try and do it where a player comes up, Martin will stop it, and then I will explain why. And if it doesn't work, what we do is we'll let it run all the way through. Then I'll go through why we picked them. But let's see how it goes.
Right. First time. Didn't know you were going to do it this way, but yeah. Okay. Right. Let's do it. Sorry, buddy. I was playing.
Did you let it run all the way through?
Yeah, let it run all the way through.
score within 7 seconds. Beautiful roll there by the goal attack. And a beautiful shot. Being given away at the start of the game.
Well, in any
and the feed from Maisley into Haskell.
The wing attack again.
People need to spend the time before the goal, but flies through and takes one.
That was a clean intercept. And another intercept from the
a wing attack, especially with their first shot, and doesn't convert. Great rebound there by Ella. And Ella driving through to take the ball near the attack.
I kicked myself off, mate. How cool is that? That brings back some memories, some of that old footage from back in the day.
And before I move to explain, just remember, everyone, the amazing work Martin does. He's there, rain or shine, capturing every single moment to be able to go, okay, I'm going to put an awards thing up and then go back 12 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months and capture footage from every single player is just incredible. And I'm sure the nominees are very appreciative that I can put that kind of, instead of just throwing up a picture, some footage. So Martin, big thank you, mate. And hopefully the netball world appreciates your work, my friend.
Let's hope. I know the parents do. I know that much.
Yeah. So nomination. So if I can, hopefully I can remember them. Rosie Sutton Town. She's a junior nominee for Player of the Year and obviously Player of the Year. You described her best, Martin, last week when you said she's like David Beckham, the equivalent of David Beckham. Definitely. In the clip you saw of her in the awards, that pass she made was basically to save the game. Now, not many people can make that pass, and not many people are brave enough to make that pass, and that is why someone like Rosie has been nominated, because she's brave in battle. She has a lot of charisma. She's a throwback to when I was growing up, and where kids weren't afraid to express themselves, get angry, and she's just full of emotion. But she's just an incredible player as well in terms of her passing, the creative way she basically feeds the ball into the shooters and stuff, but a big personality on the court as well for such a small little player. So that's why Rosie was nominated. Next up, Harriet from Leeds Athletic. Just a fantastic shooter, and she's a quiet player. When I say quiet player, she's someone who just gets on with their job. The kind of the progress she's made in the last 12 months has been incredible. Like that Leeds team specifically have made massive strides forward, but she's been a big part of that. Always consistent in her shooting, her movement superb, but just a just a cool, calm, natured individual, which every team needs. When everyone's I go back to this phrase, when everyone's losing their minds around you, you need a Harriet.
That's a nice one.
You need a Harriet to basically calm everyone down, and it helps that she's super talented in the clip as well. You know, to be able to receive that ball with seconds remaining, adjust your feet, and then as you're falling backwards, see that there has been thought about before the ball's been delivered in that short space of time. That is the sign of someone who's super talented, has a picture of what they're going to do, bang, in the goal. But like I said, very cool, calm, natured in her approach, and someone who just gets the job done and gets it done to a high level. So Harriet, that's why you're nominated. Next one. This is going to be
I can't go back over the film.
Poppy. No. We go Poppy from Shan. So I do have a list of. I'm quite good, to be fair. I'm quite good. No, because I was in the car the other day, and Senna's like, "Can you give me the dates when I'm working?" And I reeled off every single date. So I feel like I'm getting better. When it's business stuff, I'm good. When it's wife's birthday, kids' birthdays, or Valentine's days, or Mother's days, forget about it. Not interested. Okay.
Yeah, I can confirm.
Well, no. Next up was Ella from Sutton Town. So Ella, I've got to say, Rosie was also part of the first Midlands-based team to win our Youth Netball Premier League. So that's another reason. Ella was a part of that exact same team. They won the Under-12 Youth Netball Premier League. Ella can play multiple positions. So when there's very talented shooters, Ella will go back into defence and does a great job. When basically Sutton Town need that guaranteed kind of goal scorer to help them when basically they're struggling to score, Ella goes into goal shooter and even goal attack, and she basically does a good job as well. Another player who's got just an old school kind of mentality approach when it comes to competitive sport. Very emotional, very competitive, not afraid to show that emotion on court as well, and is someone you probably wouldn't want to play badly if you're on the team with, because she will tell you she ain't gonna let you shirk on her team. And I think over the last 12 months, she's also worked on her temperament. Sometimes that would have potentially let her down in games, but now she's building that maturity in her match play, where if it's not going well for her, she knows how to control her emotions and get on with the game and still be an asset to the team. But great defender, superb attacker, massive part of why Sutton Town won the league last season, but also personality-wise, a proper warrior on the court. So that's why you've been voted, Ella. There you go. Next up, Petra from Kingsway Power. Petra, she used to drive me nuts in a kind of nice, bad way, because every time she took to the court, she was one of those players I had to keep going, highlight. And I feel bad if I don't put the highlight on. So I'll be sitting at home thinking, I've got like 10 minutes worth of highlights of just Petra. Like, it's just a joke. So Petra is someone who will sell tickets. So you'd come to watch Petra play because she literally shoots from anywhere inside the D. She's not afraid to shoot from a million miles away. Obviously, she can shoot from near, but Petra enjoys shooting from a very far away, and she does it to an absolute ridiculous ability. And she's brave. She's got that kind of a charisma to want to entertain the audience, and I do appreciate that when you have 11-year-old children. She's gone on 12 now, but last season she was 11, and she's not afraid to go, okay, well, if she's not thinking of the miss. I watched something about Michael Jordan, and he says, I don't understand people who get worried about shots they haven't taken yet. Ooh. He goes, I will worry if it misses, but to kind of build up to a shot and actually think about what could happen.
That's
Because there's only one.
thought. Yeah. Because
you know, and we all do it. We all do it. And I was listening to it, and I thought that's that. And they reckon Michael Jordan, that's why he was so good, because he lived in the moment. He didn't think about what could happen. And I think Petra's similar. She doesn't think about what could happen when she takes those shots. She thinks about just being in the moment, shooting the shot. And I think that air of confidence is why the shots 99.9999999% of the time go in. But obviously she's she's more than just a shooter. But in terms of why she's been nominated, it's just that bravery in being able to shoot from many different angles and having the skill to do it often, very often. Hence why I could never get to bed, because I used to do about 1 trillion minutes of Petra shooting. So Petra, there you go.
She's that good and got all those clips. You got to edit them. And it's just like,
and she was again a massive part of the Kingsway Power team winning the ENG Under 11s Netball Cup National Finals in Essex. And you saw a clip of her spinning, shooting, Ferrari class. So there you go, Petra. That's why I nominated you. Finally, of our junior section, so we do have 2 votes. So juniors, you can vote on your favourite junior player, but then they all come together as one to vote on the overall best player. But Poppy is my final junior player. She's from Shan Netball Club, mid-court player, similar to kind of Rosie in a sense of very creative. She great range of passing, but what I love about Poppy more than anything, she sets an example on the court. Great leader. You never feel like she's losing the plot. She always looks like she's in control of her environment. And when you need someone to step up to the plate to kind of provide a moment of brilliance, Poppy is that person. And just watching her on the court, she just glides around, just effortlessly getting the ball, distributing the ball. When those killer passes have to be made, she can do that as well. As you saw in the clip, she's not afraid of defending. So she gets back, she intercepts the play, then moves the play forward. So she can do it all, but she does it in a very effortless, calm way. But again, when I go to the kind of personality, just a leader, someone who sets a great example for everyone else to follow. So that's why you're nominated, Poppy.
Well done, Poppy.
I'm hopefully getting through this quick. So for our senior section, we're going to start with Ella from Turnford. Ella was a part of the Turnford team that won the treble last season. So they won the under 15s Netball Cup knockout series. They won the Youth Netball Premier League, and they won the grand finals. We want them back. Full versus Turnford. Ella is what I would call a foundation of a team. When you build a house, that you can have the best looking windows, you can have the best looking doors, you can have a spiral staircase, you can have the most beautiful furniture, but you cannot have any of that unless the foundations are solid. Turnford have some great characters in that team, a lot of talented players, but the foundation of that team, in my opinion, is Ella. She is the foundation that solidifies the talent in front of her, and it gives them license to basically go and play their netball. She mops up any loose ball. She's an absolute nightmare for attackers, because her kind of ability to kind of read the game is incredible. As Hayden talked about on his live stream many months ago, she's fantastic outlet ball and a centre pass. So if the mid-court players are being blocked, Ella can come through as a wing defence or a goal defence and take the ball, and she does that superbly well to set the attacks up. But like I said, in terms of mentality, work rate, leadership, she is just class, and that's why she's been nominated, because she is literally the concrete, the foundation that solidifies the structure that is her team, and that's why she's been nominated. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Zanea, her teammate from Turnford, she had one of the most incredible seasons ever last season. Not away from ENG, she's been selected for England. I think she got player of the tournament at the England netball national event. She got player of the season at the youth in our youth netball Premier League. She got player of the tournament in the grand finals. I remember when she started playing for Turnford, she was raw. Like they literally just went, right, we're going to turn this girl into a superstar, and they're doing a great job at it. She's aggressive. I think what she's learned over the years is how to kind of control her aggression. She wasn't aggressive in terms of fighting aggression, but how to kind of manage how she kind of goes for the ball and stuff like that. And she's maintained that aggression, but literally scares the hell out of defenders. Like no defender wants to attack against Zanea, because she's super aggressive, but it's done in a highly professional way. But as you see in those clips as well, her ability to intercept the ball, like especially when they're passing the ball across the court, is incredible. You can see her kind of sitting there like a cheetah, or like a lion, ready to pounce on a deer. Or an antelope they were having in Africa, and she sits there, she crouches down, she's ready, she sees it. It's like she's hiding away from everyone, and she'll just come and take the ball in midair, set the attack up. But just an absolute class defender, brilliant defender. That's it. Just one of the best defenders in the country by far, and that's probably why she's been picked for England. So there you go.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, people. You're giving out some good reasoning here. Tell us if you agree, and I concur.
Next up, Ava O'Reilly for AP Saints. This is kind of the awards being given. She played for Cross Keys and she's played for AP Saints in that kind of period, and we're talking about 2023. Cross Keys got to our youth netball Premier League grand finals. Like, they had so many players missing every time they turn up to a game. There were players missing. I think Ava basically threw everyone on her back and went, right, I'm gonna carry you through these games. Oh. And it was just that kind of she's not afraid to take on responsibility, but at the same time, she's a proper baller. She's a Harlem Globetrotter.
I know that she goes and she watches games. Her name pops up quite regularly. Or Ava's logged in.
Martin, she is if they had the equivalent of a Harlem Globetrotter netball team, you would put Ava in there. She is, again, what I call a ticket seller, because you'll be thinking, what's Ava going to do next? Is she going to do a Michael Jackson spin to get away from the defender? Is she going to pass without looking? Is she going to look one way and pass the other? Is she going to spin it on her finger and run down the court as it's spinning on her finger? Is she going to shoot from a million miles away? She brings that air of like, what's going to happen next with Ava playing. It's a bit like Messi and the great footballers who would get on the pitch and just be unpredictable. And that's why you'd buy a ticket, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, and that's why, Ava, you're nominated, because you're not afraid to take on responsibility. Must say as well, she can equally defend as good as she can shoot. But I do love watching her in the shooting position. But she has charisma. She has that bravery to basically just go, okay, there's a way of playing netball, but I'm going to step outside the box and just to be and kind of be more of an entertain. And I want to entertain the audience just as much as I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing for my team. So, Ava, that's why you're nominated. Absolute, complete baller. You are baller. Next up, Farah from Ryland. Similar to Ava in a certain way. Like last season, some of their best players were injured throughout the season. Farah would turn up and she would basically take the games by the scruff of the neck and make sure Ryland didn't use that as an opportunity to lose a game. Like, some of their best players weren't there. Okay, not a problem. I'm here though, and I'm going to take the responsibility of making sure we're still competitive and we can still win these games. superb mid-court player, plays centre, plays wing attack. She has played wing defence as well and did a great job. She actually got MVP in a wing defence position this season in our league. She got the MVP award for last season's league. So she was voted the best player in the under-14s league. She helped Ryland win the league. So the Midlands were thriving last season. So a league champion, MVP from the season, ball distribution, incredible, movement, her ability to kind of be creative, to find space to receive the ball, incredible. Just a fantastic mid-court player who can pass well. She's got a fantastic engine, and again, I like looking at the personality of someone, and she, for me, again, has the personality to kind of take on responsibility and basically guide and help and just guide her team to success, even though a lot of people would turn around and say, like at the weekend, people said to me, "Oh, it was too early. Oh, we had 2 games. We played this game." Someone like Farah doesn't do that. No excuses, no rubbish. Take the responsibility on and executes to a high standard. So Farah, that's why you're nominated. Next up, Mia from Magic. What can I say? Just again, a bit like Petra from Kingsway Power. A pain in the neck because makes me do a trillion highlight reels the whole time. I think if netball's going to move forward as a sport to engage more of an audience that doesn't normally watch it, you're going to need a Mia to make sure she gets professional. Because I'm sorry, netballers, but those shots underneath the post, they're great because they get you points. But from a neutral perspective, it can be underwhelming. Do you see what I mean, Martin? Yeah, I get it. I get why people do it, and I don't want to take anything away from anyone who shoots underneath the post. But to captivate an audience, you need a Mia because her shots, she loves shooting from far away. The execution is near perfect, but it's the technique. It's how she throws the ball up and manages to just leaves her hand out as like she's guiding it into the net. It's just a joy to watch. We said it last week. When you're watching Mia, I can guarantee you the whole line of team benches from the score takers, from you, Martin, 2 seconds after she shot. The opposite team bench, everyone's like, huh? Whoa, wow. And that goes on for 40 minutes. Not only, so she's an incredible talent shooting, great personality. So again, like someone who's just quiet. She's an unsung hero. Sometimes they say the loudest in the room is the weakest in the room, and that's probably correct. You've got to watch out for the quiet ones. And someone like Mia is deadly. She is deadly. She's a great representation of how silence in battle can be deadly. And she just cracks on with her job, and she's ruthless and she's deadly with it. Proper assassin, a proper assassin. But again, great character, and she helped Magic win the Eastern finals in the Under-16s Netball Cup, the day you had the trauma with the setup. And she also helped guide Magic to their first ever ENG national final when they got beat by Paul. So again, without Amir in the team, I don't think they would have won those tournaments because you can rely on her to score.
Mate, that's going to get some comments. Right, okay.
Well, what was that? What did I say?
You said they wouldn't probably got there if it was...
No, you wouldn't, because when defenders are pushing the attackers out, you can rely on her to shoot those long shots.
Yeah, but it's a team game. It's a team game.
No, I'm sorry, Mia. Without a Mia, probably wouldn't have got there. But that's how that's what big players get you to finals, don't they? So that's why Mia's been nominated. And finally,
To be
Maisie.
honest, that's why I like to class things when I see players like the Beckhams, as I call them, because they do everything, and you don't, you know what I mean? They just make everything glue together nicely, and that's why.
Yeah.
So I totally understand what you mean by me.
Yeah, no, it's just the way it is.
Kind of said it out there, mate. You know, Izzy might have something to say about
take
it,
it as you want it. I take it as you want to take it. It doesn't bother me. Maisie Trainor, I hope I said that right, Maisie. She did say she might be watching this in the gym or something. So
let us know. Let us know in the comments.
So Maisie, she plays for Bury. She was the MVP of the under-15s Northern Conference last season. I would say she's not a David Beckham, she's a Messi of the netball world. To create the comparison, like Rosie is a David Beckham, set piece, he's going to get you that ball on your head. Maisie is more of a Messi, where basically if the equivalent of football, she's going to take 10 people on and score. Like her ability, her creativeness on the court is incredible. Like her range of passing is incredible. Her charisma, like for example, she was they were winning by a certain amount of points against a team last season. And normally, like this is people might disagree, but I don't care. She literally, with like 30 seconds to go, started doing that with her teammate. Pop, 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 pop. And I thought to myself, cheers, Maisie, you're going to cause a bleeding riot in here. If that was the NBA, it'd be fighting, never be fighting. But again, it's having that charisma, it's having that kind of personality to kind of do those type of things. But as you saw in the clip, the passes she makes, like she can just see something at the corner of her eye and find that killer pass is just incredible. But personality, like you go to watch sport because of personalities. You learn best of people who have good personality. Like teachers, you always remember the teacher with the best personality. My whole sporting existence was always like Eric Cantona, guys like that who had that charisma and that personality on the court. Maisie not only is a Rolls Royce netballer, she's Rolls Royce. How she didn't get picked for this England team they've just announced is beyond me. Sorry, I'm putting it out there. But she is a Rolls Royce netballer, but is backed up by this charisma, this personality that I believe netball needs desperately to make sure netball goes to the next level. Because what netball fails to do at a pro level is to engage people in the personality of the players. And someone like Maisie, the whole world would fall in love with her. That's why she's such an incredible talent. She's got the skill, but she's got an incredible personality to match. And she's not afraid to start riots in stadiums as well.
Careful, mate.
So there's all our nominees. I tried breezing through that, but they're so amazing. It's hard to kind of breeze through the players. So hopefully, if you are watching, that's giving you a little bit more insight into why we picked them, or why I picked them, because I do watch them all. I do get advice of other people like umpires and stuff. But please go and vote. You've got all the links to the app. Just go and vote on the app. Make sure you vote on both, because we have a senior, we have a junior, and then all of them come together to see who the number one, the official number one is. So please vote on both. I think we are on it.
Someone called Maisie. There you go. From Simon.
Okay. I'm trying to work out whether it's what that meant.
I didn't mean to click on it, to be fair. Then I was like, I was on there now.
So voting ends on February the 1st. We do have our club and player of the year coming up.
Sorry, mate, go.
No, I'm just there you go. Vote. Just everyone vote on the player you like best. There's some players, come on, clubs, put it out there more. Family, friends, put it out there more. They're going to need your help. And if you're neutral, hopefully my reasoning has helped you decide who gets voted. There you go.
Yep.
So, Martin, we did want to kick on with Hayden. So let's see. Let's what we're probably going to do tonight is not do the highlights now, Martin.
Okay, cool. All right.
Because we know Hayden's got a lot to say. So what we're going to do, mate, is go through.
Hayden never has much to say, mate.
Yeah. Let's go through the under-12s Northern Conference scores, and we talk about the table as well and what it all means. So, as ever, the most by far in terms of spectators and stuff like that, this is the most popular league we have. Very well received, very well supported. We love coming to the under-12s league in particular. It's a fantastic league. So DNA Wyre 29-10 to Wyre. Oldham Ellesmere Port 42-18 to Oldham. Ellesmere Port started well, but they kind of fizzled out a bit too quickly for my liking. I think I think they were struggling to work out the best combinations and stuff in terms of players and match play. And I think against Oldham, it's very difficult. If you're working it out later into the game, then unfortunately you're going to be down by a lot by the time you work it out. But I do think Ellesmere Port could still give them a better game. They will give them a better game if they were to play them again. But on this occasion, Oldham ran out convincing winners 42-18. Oaksway Wyre 29-34. Classic, good game with this one, Martin. Do you remember it? Wyre all the way to the back of the game were 1 point conspiracy theory potentially drawing. I think we had the wrong score because we added a goal that didn't count. Sometimes you look up, the goal goes in, you look back down again, and the umpire's going, no, it's not a goal, but you're not seeing that bit. DNA, so Wyre won their back-to-back games for the first time this season, and I was happy for them. It's not like I wanted them to win Oaksway, but in the same way, they played really good netball. So it's nice to see them being awarded for the netball they were playing. B&A Ellesmere Port 44-8 to Ellesmere Port. Oldham Oaksway 46-23. I thought Oaksway actually did themselves a lot of credit in this game. I said to him in the interview, I didn't see a team that looked a million miles away from competing with Oldham. They've got good centre pass structures. They've got that physical element to their game. They can pass the ball well. Trust me, Oaksway, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be okay. Just keep focusing on baby steps because you have the making of a very good team. Chester Oldham under 11s 15-22. Chester should be disappointed with that performance. Never really got going in that game. It's flitting. They went. It's like starting a car. Like it would go, then it would stop. And again, when you play any Oldham team, even if you put the Oldham under 5s out, they ain't going to let you off that. They're not going to let you off. Leeds versus Bury 24-11. I expected Bury to do a little bit better, but like most Leeds teams, they learn quick. This is not the same Leeds team that started the season. They are absolutely growing into a superb team. The Netball Cup event's coming up soon, and cannot wait to see them in that because I'm telling you now, they can beat anyone over 10 minutes. They can beat most teams over 40, 30 minutes, but over 10 minutes, they can beat anyone. Rivington and Chester, 28-12. I thought Chester did better in this game than did the Oldham under 11s game. I said to Chester, why didn't you play like that against Oldham? Sometimes I don't understand it, but it's a bit like when you play a game of pool. If you play someone you think you're going to beat, you never play as well as you play someone you're going to be a tough game. Yeah. So it's all in the mind sometimes. Oldham under 11s against Leeds Athletic, 27-11. We did expect the Leeds win, but what I love about teams like Oldham, doesn't matter how much they're down, it's still a joy to watch. They never, ever look like they're becoming disinterested. And I've seen a few things in the last few weeks from certain teams, and some teams can learn a lot of teams like Oldham. And if you ever think, oh, Oldham this, Oldham that, I'm telling you now, you can't even begin to put down their mental approach to the game. Before you even pass the ball, shoot the ball, move for the ball, you need to be committed to what you're doing. And that's why Oldham are so successful at many, many age groups, because they're committed.
they love the live stream. They keep on doing the little wave to the camera. We've been spotting.
No,
you.
brilliant. They're heavily invested, Martin. They're a great club to have in the league, and the kids, I think they really enjoy it. To be fair to them, Rivington versus Bury, our big game of the day, probably didn't live up to the hype.
Yeah,
Bury were relatively close up until half time, but Rivington had the third quarter, or like a dreamy third quarter, where everything comes together. Everything you've been working on all your life just comes together in that moment, and they completely blitzed Bury in the third quarter to kind of make the scoreline look like kind of very one-sided. But the third quarter was a perfect quarter, and I said to him in the interview, if you can replicate that against Oldham over 1, 2, 3 or 4 quarters, we've got a game on, Martin.
definitely.
So if we look at the table,
Okay, and also big thanks to Hayden for commentating.
yeah, it's a good commentary. I enjoy the commentary, really good.
Yep.
So the table, look, Oldham, Rivington, I think we have a 2-horse race. It's still not over. Leeds, you still have a chance. I think the goal difference means you would, unless Bury played a game of their lives against Oldham in the next round and then Rivington beat Oldham, that's the only way Leeds are going to win. Leeds have Rivington next in round 4. What a game that's going to be. I did pre-warn Rivington. Unfortunately, you're going to play a different team to what you played probably 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes waiting for these games to happen is not a good thing, because you're catching teams in good form. They've had a lot more training, a lot more experience. That's going to be one hell of a game, Martin. So Leeds, I believe these 3 teams here, Martin, I can't see them not qualifying for our grand finals. I think that's done. I think those 3 are in the grand finals, even though it's not confirmed. They're in. Welcome to the big show. Now it's all about finding out in what position they come. Ellesmere Port jumped up into the top 4 after Bury lost back-to-back games, and Ellesmere Port play Bury next, Martin. Bury, check this out, Martin. Bury have Oldham and Ellesmere Port in the next 2 games. Ellesmere Port have Leeds and Bury. Like, can you get any harder than that?
No, you can't really, can you? That's yeah. Ellesmere.
Martin, that's 4 games guaranteed to be blockbusters, mate.
Yeah.
So round 4 in this league is probably what round 5 should be. Round 5 is everything we need to know about this league will happen in round 4. It's going to be done. Apart from potentially the championship, round 4 will tell us exactly who's going to qualify for the top 4, who's going to come in the championship finals, and who will probably get relegated. So that is how the cookie's crumbling on that one.
Round 4 to watch, everybody.
So Wyre, Oldham under 11s, you are in the championship finals. I don't think you've got nothing to worry about. And I've said it before, for teams like Oldham and particularly Wyre, this championship finals, I think, is completely built for them. Not because I think they're not good enough for the top 4, because a bit like Tottenham. Tottenham are a great team, but Tottenham, go and win a League Cup. Go and win an FA Cup. Because until you start winning, you're never going to make the next step forward. And I think this competition represents an opportunity for Wyre in particular to go out, win something, and then I believe that will project them to the next level. But until you see a process through, I don't think you're never going to be ready for that next level. And I think Wyre, this is a great opportunity to go, right, let's get a trophy, let's get a gold medal, and that will take us to the next level, because that feeling of victory will make you train harder, play harder, and it will encourage more players to basically join your team as well, because they'll be like, hey, I want that. I want a piece of that. I want a piece of that cake. Chester, Oaksway, DNA, you are in a relegation battle, unfortunately. If we look at their games next, Oaksway have DNA, so the bottom 2 play each other, Martin.
Yeah.
Oaksway then have Oldham under 11. So Oaksway will be thinking, hey, back-to-back wins potentially here. but you are playing Oldham under 11s. Don't let the under 11s thing deceive you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a reason that the under 11s is playing in this league. There's a reason.
Yeah. Chester have DNA. And again, DNA, they had lost a lot of players. So I feel sorry for them to a certain extent because it's not the team they had at the start of the season. So they're still trying to bed new players in and stuff. So if you, on paper, there's no reason why Chester and Oaksway can't win both games. Chester would go up to 6 points, potentially drag in teams like Oldham and Wyre into that relegation battle. The same with Oaksway. They could potentially drag teams like Oldham in. Oldham have like Oaksway and Oldham have Rivington. So 2 losses there and 2 wins for Chester and Oaksway could see potentially. So why have Chester? Why have Oldham? So, you know, I'm sitting there saying, yeah, you're going to get in the championship finals. Now I'm looking at the fixtures. I'm like, oh sorry, guys. I can't promise that now. So big game for Wyre. Wyre versus Chester, Martin. That whole fixture list is just entertainment, mate.
Definitely.
And so we're looking forward to, when is it? March the 9th. March the 9th. Brilliant. Probably one of the best fixture lists I've ever seen in my life. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, fighting all over it, isn't it? Fighting for the relegation, fighting for the championship, fighting for the...
So if we go to the under-14s Southern Conference.
Yep.
So there was another loss for Stars, another one. The unbeatables in this Southern Conference have now been beaten twice this season. 21-26, they got beat by MK Dons. Never really got going, to be honest. I thought the dramatic comeback was on. But MK Dons are a solid team, very professional. I said it last week. Germany. They don't look like they're gonna be too dramatic in battle. They don't look like they're gonna be too emotional when they're losing. They're just Germany. That's all I'm gonna say. Germany. Right. Like taking penalties, you always rely on Germany to win, don't you, Martin?
Yeah, well, yeah, there is that.
Essex Open, AP Saints 24-17, Essex Open. Southend Sapphires Stars 10-29 to Stars, so they got 1 win. MK Dons Essex Open Classic 21-21.
Oh yeah. I'd just like to say you didn't update the score, right? So we thought it was
I know.
21. And we were like, what's good? And then I went, hang on, all this is quickly changed to 21, and then the goal went in. I was like, oh.
You see, when it gets like 30 seconds to go, I'm too nervous to press the score button because I think if I don't have this mic and I don't tell people, I'm going to get lynched. I did put it in, but just didn't press the enter button. I was getting too excited. Sorry, everyone. On that note, MK Dons Essex Open, the final 30 odd seconds were incredible. Martin, play it to the audience. Show them what happened.
Right. Okay. There we go.
I do find draws funny. You basically started, you finished how you started the game.
After all that.
36 minutes, you back to square one again. Welcome to what we call life, people.
It's a very rare thing in netball, isn't it?
It's very rare to get draws. So getting a draw is kind of like, wow, like that was good.
I would say it's a frequent thing.
It is this season in the South in particular. It's very frequent. But as you saw there, it was 21-21. I forgot to press the button. MK Dons had the centre pass. A foul was given to Essex Open. The Essex Open goal defence just couldn't find a player, so she just threw it to MK Dons. MK Dons then went up the other end, and you could see the MK Dons shooter. When I started saying 5, she just settled herself, took her time. She did everything right. But I'm not a Hayden, but I am gonna tell you why that shot was missed. Because the defender for Essex, she held her ground and she didn't fall in, which meant that kind of I would say I could probably guarantee that the shooter was expecting for MK Dons for her to foul her.
Right.
But she held her ground, kept her arms up, and kind of made her shoot and say, "Off you go. You're not going to get a free shot out of me." And it was that kind of ability to stay calm as a defender is why I think that drew them the game. I think the MK Don shooter was like, "Come on, fall in, give me a free shot." She didn't. She held her ground and went, "Right, I'm going to be as tall as possible, and you're going to try, and you're going to shoot."
You got no choice.
And you got no choice. You got to shoot.
Yeah.
So well done to that defender in particular, but well done to everyone. Classic ENG event. And without Martin, we would never be able to show everyone how great these games are. So again, Martin, you're getting a lot of praise tonight, mate.
Oh yeah, no. What are you after, Richard? There's something.
By the way, we got a live draw tomorrow, so.
All right. Okay.
AP Saints, Southend Sapphires 34-14. Important win there for AP Saints in their quest to kind of not get relegated. Shan Sutton Town 38 to Sutton Town. Turnford Magic 23-16 to Magic. Sutton Town Conquerors, one of the games of the day. I tell you what, it was a frustrating game to watch because shooting wise, the accuracy of both shooters on both teams wasn't as high level as it should have been. And I think if I kind of never would know, we would never know, we'll know genuinely like who could have won that game, because I think shooting wise, I think the pressure got to the shooters a lot in that game, and a lot of missed shots. That's what I'm going to say. And I think Sutton Town were there for the taking from a Conqueror's perspective. It was always going to be tough, but I think they were there for the taking. But Sutton Town, again, experience kicks in all the time. And I think that's why Sutton Town went and got the win. But Sutton Town would appreciate, I think if Sutton Town appreciated the challenge there. Conquerors are a very good team and a good asset to this league. So well done to both teams. Shan Magic, Shan, well done, by the way. Your first game, performance-wise, wasn't that great. Second game, and this is what I love about sport. You always get a chance. You're always as good as your next game, they say. You come back in your second game, you smashed it. Great attitude. Just fantastic attitude, basically. 25-20 against Magic.
You know what I meant to say like last week. Do you know what I was going to put that game down as?
Go on.
The game of the coaches with the loudest voice.
Yes. Who won, Martin?
Do you know what? Jury's out. I would say Izzy. Izzy won it. I did say to Colin,
knockout.
I in the Sutton Town game. I mean, after that happened, I said to him, "Colin, you've been a bit quiet." I said, "I want Colin back. I want Colin because he wasn't very vocal on the Sutton Town game as far as I was concerned. I don't know if you thought any different, but
I think because they probably weren't playing as well as they should be. He just kind of thought to himself, you know what? I'm not going to waste my energy.
Yeah,
I'll just regroup, go again."
But yeah, with Shan and Magic, it was honestly, I was saying to Jack, like, this is going to be fun. And he's like, what, why? And I'm like, because you got Izzy in the left and you got Colin on the right.
When I really hope one day they will allow us to do Coach Cam. Because if they did, 1 trillion views on YouTube, mate.
Oh, definitely, mate. All right. Well, we'll get it done. Hang on, who's put a comment down? Oh, got Emma Harrison Scott saying Oldham's under 12s. There you go. But yeah, I think that would be really good. That would be really good, actually, having the cameras on the coaches, definitely. Especially.
It'd be amazing. Conquerors Turnford 29-16, the last game of the day. So let's look at the table. So Sutton Town leading the way, 12 points. They look like they're going to be champions, but I'm going to throw a scenario here. I don't think I'm going to put my head out. I'm going to put it out there and say I don't think it's over.
Oh, I do.
So, hold on. Let me see if I can convince you it's not over.
Okay, I am waiting.
Sutton Town have Stars in their next game, right?
Right. Yeah.
So March the 3rd, they have where is it? Yeah, they have Stars and they have Southend Sapphires. Now I expect them to beat Southend Sapphires, but potentially, don't forget you're dealing. Stars are still 2-time league champions. They haven't performed that great yet this season, but I think they're due one of those perfect performances, right?
Ooh.
And it could come, and the motivation could come against Sutton Town, where they're like, "Well, hold on a minute, you're not taking this off us that easily." So if Stars beat Sutton Town and Sutton Town win, they will win against Southend Sapphires. They'll be on 14 points, right? Now, if we go down, MK Dons are playing Shan and MK Dons are playing Conquerors. Now, the Conquerors game is going to be stupidly tough for MK Dons, right?
Yeah.
But let's just say MK Dons get through those 2 games, which they're more than capable of doing because they beat Stars 26-21. You've got then MK Dons will be on 13 points. You seeing where I'm going with this, Martin?
Yeah, I see where you're going, buddy. Yeah, go on.
Okay. It's going to be a tough ask, but MK Dons are more than capable of beating Conquerors and Shan. And Sutton and Stars and Sutton Town, well, Stars are more than capable of beating Sutton Town, right?
Right.
The final games of the season, we'll see MK Dons play Southend Sapphires, which they should win. So that will take them up to 15 points. Sutton Town have Essex Open, their final game.
Oh,
Right.
You might have convinced me, sir.
Essex Open might have to win that game to qualify for the grand finals. Do you really think the Essex Open fans...
It's a mic. I'm not dropping that one. It's too expensive. I'll drop the pen. Oh, mate.
Look, if we look at Essex Open's next 2 games, I expect them to win both those 2 games. So, Turnford and Magic, right? Magic will be
hard.
Potential banana skins in both games, but I expect them to win it based on what I've seen. That will take them up to 11 points. That might not be enough to qualify.
Right.
So they might be in a situation where they have to win. And even if they win one game, they're going to have to win their final game. They have no choice. Do you really think those Essex Open parents are going to just walk into that room and allow Sutton Town to have a victory parade? So have I convinced you, Martin?
Do you know what? I have to admit, you have. Honestly.
It's not over. It is not over, mate.
Mate,
so there you go.
That to me, now you've put it like that, it's like, woo. Because I would have said, nah, Sutton Town have got it, mate. But now that you've put it like that, and especially, with the grand finals on it, Essex Open, and they've got some cravings on them for they're new into the league. So that to me is like, oh, mate, they're chomping them at the bit. Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They may have to win their final game of the season. They may have to. It just might have to be. So Sutton Town's victory parade might be. There might be some burst tires on that bus, mate. That's what I'm saying. The bus still might be. The bus still will be driving, but with burst tires. Not because the Essex girls have gone outside and burst your tires.
Yeah.
But I think the top 3 are going to reach the grand finals. Yeah. Stars will make it hard for themselves if they get beat by Sutton Town. But I still think that they're going to qualify. I think Stars need to qualify in second. They cannot afford to qualify in 3rd or 4th. So Stars, come on, guys. Let's get focused for the next 3 games. And for me, it's between. I would say Shan, Conquerors, and Essex Open are all going for 4th place.
Magic.
No, I think. By them getting beat by Shan, I think it's going to be too much of an ask. to win, to get maximum points and qualify. No, I'm not. Again, by all means, Magic, go and prove me wrong. But I think 5 points, 3 games to go. Even though it still looks quite likely, I just think just not going to have enough. But you're more than welcome to prove me wrong. Then Turnford AP Saints for me are going to fight it out to see who stays in the league next season.
Yeah, that's. Are they playing each other? Did you say?
I'm going to check this out. I don't think a team has ever been relegated with 3 points or more.
AP Saints versus Turnford on the last game of the season.
There you go. There you go.
I was going to go get it champagne, mate. Right. Oh, I just dropped my stuff.
What a game that would be.
Oh, mate, that day, I am not joking. I expect all your seats to be sold out and 1,000 live stream people watching, because you've got AP Saints against Turnford. You know what I mean? Fighting to stay in the league.
The Magic Conquerors game could be massively important as well. Conquerors if Magic prove me wrong, potentially that game there could see them. We could have a situation where Essex Open will get to the final game knowing that Essex Open will know by time their game starts where they're at in the league, and they could find themselves in 5th or 6th place, and knowing a win will take them to 4th. So all these teams will just have to wait. So Martin, again, your live stream should go through the roof, because no one is going to sit back and not want to watch it.
Exactly. Right. Well, again, I don't expect you to have any seats left, because that's an epic day, mate. That is
really good. Really good.
I would say the MK Dons Southend Sapphires will be, obviously, MK Dons should win that.
Well, MK Dons might be top of the table after that win.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But Southend Sapphires, you never know. They could just bring it back and sort MK Dons out. But MK Dons are playing strong, mate. They really are. So yeah, this I'll tell you what.
It's looking good, looking tasty, mate. Looking tasty. Whoever does these fixtures deserves a pay rise.
That's a fully loaded pizza setting, that is, mate. That's just like stuffed crust, the whole lot.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't believe how quick the time's gone. Hopefully you've, especially the award stuff, hopefully you've got some insight into the why we nominated. Hopefully you saw the draw for the Southern and Eastern finals. Sorry we couldn't do the highlights. We're running out of time. So you can catch those highlights on YouTube. You can go on Instagram, Facebook, and Instagram and Facebook and watch them. I want to apologise to the Eldham under 11s and Chester in their game, because I couldn't access their game because there was some sort of issue, wasn't there, Martin, with the game? So you had to edit it a little bit. So I just didn't have the time to what it takes a lot of time for Martin to edit certain things. So I didn't have time. So there was highlights I couldn't get on, which I wanted to get on, but I just ran out of time. So, but we're going to move on now, and we're going to have Hayden come in, and we're going to give him a 45-minute slot. So 9:30, Hayden. Hopefully you're going to come. Hayden caused, he was well received last season. Everyone loved Hayden's knowledge of netball, youth netball. He's famous for the debate that still rages. If you go up to some people and say, Hayden, two-handed pass, overhead pass, they will either run away from you they will do that. No, I don't want to hear it. Or they'll be like, hallelujah, finally someone has spoken the truth. So last season he caused us stir by basically saying that in youth netball, especially at under 11s, under 12s, 13s level, overhead passes is 10 times better in order to get down the court, score goals, which allows you then to work on other parts of your game instead of worrying about shoulder passes and whatever other pass. But his knowledge on the game is, I believe, is fantastic. The way he kind of breaks down the games. The one that sticks out in my mind was Poole versus Turnford in our grand finals, when he basically showed that the Poole shooter wasn't blocking Zanea from intercepting the ball when the ball was going across the court, which was massively important in that first quarter. So those little insights were incredible last season. He came to our under-12s Northern Conference because he's doing a little bit of work with Rivington. He wanted to watch him, but he also volunteered to commentate, which made the I think makes the live stream more valuable, more engaging. Everyone agrees as well, Hayden, because we did a poll on it on Instagram. I think 80% of people agree with it. And he just wants to give us some knowledge and some insight into what you saw on Saturday. So Hayden, the floor is yours. You've got 45 minutes, mate.
Okay. Just got to correct you on a few things first.
Go on.
You talk about saying me that I speak too much. You've been rolling for like over an hour and a half.
The kids deserve it, mate.
Yeah, me, not you. Right, number 2, don't we bring back Tottenham? Tottenham got to a Champions League final.
All right, mate, and they lost miserably.
Number 3,
they didn't turn up to the Champions League final. That's what you should have said.
Right, number 3, you're giving Oldham Netball Club too much credit because you talk about like the Oldham under-11s like being tough and gritty, but that's probably the only one that's like that. Remember, we're not that far removed from an Oldham under-15s team with England players giving up 44 points in 32 minutes.
Okay, Hayden.
Yeah.
Shot.
Hey, this Oldham under-11s team is the only one that's the best in the country at their age group. So yeah, anyway, and that's who we're starting with. So can we share the screen, Martin?
Hey, we've got a quick question. Tom knows, which club does Hayden coach at? He doesn't coach at any of them, do you?
No, I do not.
Where's he gone? Where's Richard gone?
Our coach. Oh, is he left? Richard's left.
I'm sure his internet's just gone. I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. But I feel that's more of a sarcastic thing.
I coach, and it's good that Tom's here because we're going to have a couple of questions for Tom as well. But yeah, I coach a team called ladies team called Northwood Eagles in the Queen's North League in Northwest London.
Oh, okay. You do actually coach a team. Sorry, what?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't
coaching
know that.
tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
So anyway, we will start with Oldham under-11s against Chester. So obviously, like looking at netball from a national point of view, we sort of have a problem where there's not enough depth in the regional league. So you do need to have sort of a northern and a southern league and get the best teams together for those best teams to have competitive fixtures. But even if you have a north and a southern Premier League, if those teams if the best teams in that league, like which would probably be sort of Oldham under-11s, Oldham under-12s, are winning like every game, that's not great either. Because so it's actually great to see, here where you've got Oldham under-11s playing against a Chester team a year older, because by playing against a team older, there's not as much space in the middle of the court. They're forced to make more passes. And then when they miss shots or make errors, then they get to work on their defense. So like really, this was a great opportunity to see like just how well this Oldham under-11s team defends and why they are the number 1 team in the country in their age group. So we've got some defensive highlights from this Oldham under-11s team to begin with, and then a few clips we'll kind of discuss in a bit more depth. So I'll just sort of run this through as quick as possible. Okay. So yeah, great tip there.
Richard here. Hang on. There we go. There you go, Rich.
Yeah.
Ruby flying through with a tip there. The defense has been very impressive so far. A lot of pressure on Chester.
This one's an absolute screamer. That's just Elisara just picking one out of the air there.
Before we move on,
yeah.
I just want to clarify something. I'm not happy with what you did at the start of that stream there. Oldham are a fantastic team, and I think the fact that I'm not into putting them down. So if we're going to continue this stream, we can't have any more of that. Is that okay?
What? So
No. This is not a platform to put clubs down and stuff. So if we're going to move on, let's not put people down, please.
Yeah, all the other, like the older Oldham teams, and I spoke to Tom about it after the game. I'd say, like, you think about their attack like more than their defense. So when you talk about Shannon, when you talk about sort of Lola Newton, Ellie English, etc. But I say, like, this Oldham under-11s team is the
but you got to clarify because that was unfair. That's not on. You can't do that. So you need to clarify your point to make it so people understand where you're coming from, because it doesn't sound great, and I'm not going to be a part of that. So make sure when you say stuff like that, there's clarity behind it.
Yeah. So what I said with this Oldham under-11s team is the first one I've seen where, compared to say the 5 age groups above, where I think about like how they defend more than how they attack. So in terms of defense, that's what I meant.
Cool.
Right. Anyway, we've got numerous clips to show that. So let's just go back to this one. So I think, yeah, this one here, I think you've got Elisara just getting a tip on this feed here, and then Sophia picking up the crumbs at goalkeeper. So there was a succession of these sort of defensive plays throughout the whole game. And then Essay, yeah, came on at centre.
She's top of the MVP table. Essay, keep it up. Yeah. You're 2 more rounds away from getting a nice big trophy.
And then, yeah, this was another screamer from the goalkeeper coming through there. And that one was tipped and picked up. And so really what they're doing really well here is on the centre pass, they're forcing them wide, limiting the space, and then they're getting a lot of tips and deflections. So so when we talk about their sort of transition defense now, so this is actually right at the beginning of the game. So they make a mistake here, the ball goes out of play. Right, and then when you slow it down here, remember these Chester girls are all a year older, right? So for the most part, the Oldham girls are probably going to be slightly shorter, giving up a little bit of speed. But as I said, what they maybe lack from being a year younger, they make up for in sort of organisation, determination, hustle, grit, etc. So, okay, so if you see here, like both, we've got arms over on the ball coming in. Goal defense for Chester is like tightly marked. Whoever's coming in here on the right-hand side of the screen, they're tightly marked. And what they do is they just force Chester to make a lot of sort of horizontal passes. Don't allow them, if you look at here, you can see all of the Chester players have got like no space. So, just by forcing them to pass horizontally, it just builds the pressure. And then you hope that they'll sort of crack at some point. Yeah, and then eventually they get the held ball.
Obviously, Chester had the physical advantage with like height and stuff like that.
Yes,
they couldn't really work it out, could they? In terms of getting beyond. I know I don't want to put too much emphasis on the under-11s, but on paper you would expect Chester to win that game, but just couldn't really find a way around Oldham. They just seemed to just have a plan, and it worked perfectly.
But like this Oldham under-11s team is an elite defensive team.
And if you want to learn how to be an elite defender, then Tom is taking my ENG Academy session on February the 19th.
So and as I said, like when we talk about defense as well, like in these clips I'm showing here, it's not about the defenders. This is about like parts we've made a mistake attacking, or we've missed a shot, and it's like the goal shooters, the goal attacks are playing like a big role in what happens here. So I think you've got like Evelyn, Willow, Eloise, Ruby at centre, like they're all just swarming. So again, they just keep forcing them sideways. There's nothing going through the middle of the court. Yeah, and then eventually they force the ball that goes over a third there. Another one here. So this is really great passing by. So So like we talked about the defense, and I think what a good defense does, it enables your attackers to relax because they don't feel like they have to make every shot or make every pass, because they know like if they make a mistake or if something goes wrong, the defense is going to pick them up. So in terms of attack, what we saw from Oldham was sort of timely plays, you know, which is very good to achieve against a good Chester team that's a year older than you. So like we see some really nice passing here from Oldham. And then the slight error here. But as soon as they lose it, like the reaction of these girls to go from attacking like into defense, like you just see there's no space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they get that one. Last part is okay. So yeah, this is fantastic. Like when you do win the ball and you're playing great defense, you know, if you're going to win the game, you do have to take it like through the court, you know, and score. So you see, like if this Oldham team was playing against like good teams their own age, they'd be able to move the ball through the court a lot easier. So by playing up a year, like they face more resistance, so it brings like more out of them, right? So like, you know, they're force wider. And so, yeah, it's good because, as I said, they're the best team in the country, but they're having to, you know, make multiple passes here. And like, oh, and this one, Richard, I know you'll love this one. I think it's Emily at goal shooter here. If you just look at this, if you look at the goal shooter in the middle of the screen here, okay, I've got my mouse there. And then if you look at this spin now as she just drives out, can you see her just turning her back here?
Yeah.
Spin.
Oh, that's a nice little move, yeah.
We do like the showbiz.
Yeah.
Hollywood. Yeah, I like the Hollywood.
Yeah, so if you see like how many passes like Oldham were forced to make like correctly, like all the girls were involved, like to bring the court through there. So it's a good thing for the coaches. Like I think like someone once told me, like, you know, no matter what team you are, you want to be sort of halfway up the league that you're in, because then you're getting enough sort of positive feedback, but enough stuff's going wrong that the coaches can say, actually, we need to work on this, we need to work on that. Whereas when you're winning every game, it's kind of hard to replicate that.
Yeah.
Couple of offensive plays now. Okay. And I think, yeah, this is a really nice attacking passage of play here from Oldham. So Chester's doing a good job here, like holding them up, forcing them wide. But you see that they're just patient, and eventually they just sort of break through.
You can see that they love, it's kind of like the 1-2. Someone will offset the ball and they'll just run into that space into the shooting circle, right. And then that prompts the other player to throw it in, doesn't it?
And I can't, like, we can't show this clip without showing this front cut from Eloise here at the end. So if you watch her release the ball here, right? So and if you look at her feet, like she's looking like she's going to sort of go to the top of the circle, and then she just plants her foot, goes inside the Chester defender, and leaves her for absolute dust. Like, so yeah, that was very, very impressive. That front cut.
It's very impressive. That's just, damn it! Didn't put it in the highlight reel.
Yeah. So we'll show that one again, Richard. So if you look at her body position here, it looks like she's going sort of around the top of her and then just drops her shoulder, and yeah, really good.
Brilliant.
Right.
Under 11s Netball Cup, that'll be interesting. The under 11s team.
And then the last one, I got to speak to Tom about this. One set play, they've got new ones. However, this is like next level stuff. So I actually didn't see this, because if you see on the screen, I'm actually just like checking with Tom who he's bought on and who he's bought off. And then the other thing I'd like to say is, like, he used this bench a lot. So he had 5 subs, but midway through the second quarter, they'd all come into the game. So going against girls a year older, just like cycling players on and off, making sure they were fresh at all times, I think as well, that's what sort of enabled Oldham to sustain it. Right, anyway, so we're going to look at this set play. Right, so go here. Okay, well, I'll just run it first, and then you can try and work out what happens. Okay.
Play it again.
A bit like stop the ball, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah. She was running from the start.
Yeah, did the goal? Is it the goal shoot or goal attack? Did she just literally spin off and ran into the space, and then Essay ran out to create the space for the ball to be thrown straight in? Is that what I'm seeing?
Right. So what happened is, so you've got, so basically, I don't know how they teach them this in Oldham, but they've got like 10 and 11-year-old girls like running screens off the centre pass. So if you look at, I think it's Evelyn here, she's a goal attack. So you can see that here that at the top right, the goal defence is right on her. Right, actually, right. Hang on, let me just make my arrow a little bit bigger. Not that one. All right. This one, yes. Okay, that's good. Okay, so right, so we've got Evelyn here. You can see she's marked by the goal defence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Then we've got a wing attack for Oldham. I think. Right. She just come on. Right. So she puts the signal, and if you notice her body position here, and she's the one with her hands up, that hand up there. It might be Isla. I'm not sure. Right. But so what she does is she's the goal defense and the wing defense are thinking we're in a good position to stop the sort of Oldham goal attack and wing attack coming over the line to get the centre pass. Right. Yeah. However, what the wing attack for Oldham does is she screens the goal defense. So if you look when Evelyn runs here, basically the wing attack for Oldham is putting a physical barrier, so the goal defense actually doesn't have any way of keeping track of her. Get it? Yeah.
It's
right.
Like
the other part of this is, so they've got a set play here, the screen. You've got the goal attack going under the post. But in order for this set play to work, you've basically got to have a 10 or 11-year-old girl, and that's at wing defense Laney. She's got a feed from the halfway line. If you look at her back foot there, it's actually like behind halfway.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing to note is she just came into the game off the bench. She didn't start the game. So basically what Tom's got is he's got 10 and 11-year-old girls coming onto the court saying, right, we're drawing this up. You've been sat on the bench, but the first pass that I want you to make in the game is I want you to feed a goal attack from halfway. So you see she loads up here, like the amount of power she generates. And because the screen's so good, if you see like where Eloise is when she catches that, and then the goal defense, like, and that's because there's been a great screen set by the Oldham wing attack. The other thing is what the Oldham goal shooter's done. So the Oldham goal shooters here, right on the right of the screen, they've driven out of the circle and brought the Chester goalkeeper with her, which has then freed up the space under the post for the Oldham goal attack. Yeah. Like, do you know how hard it is to even get like adult or like county or like regional netball players to like execute something like that?
I can imagine, mate.
Like these Oldham, they're teaching these girls different. So in terms of, remember, they would have practiced this at training like a few days or whatever before, but like for girls of that age to be able to execute like a set play with a screen like to that standard is extremely impressive. And as I said, like the wing defense Laney that's come on and feed in here, that's her first pass of the game. This is the first time she touched the ball, so she's just gone in there and half the court, no problem, bang.
That is amazing, mate. Well spotted.
Yeah. Could you do that with a shoulder pass?
only the Stars goalkeeper. There's only one goal probably.
Even the cat's come to like, why did you say that? Look.
So
very impressive.
So like I said, our Oldham under 11s, based on defense, full court defense, because they're playing up a year, more mistakes, but because there's more mistakes, it gives Tom the opportunity to work on the transition defense. Like when they win the ball on turnover, playing against girls their own age, maybe 4 or 5 passes, they can get the ball to the shooter. But playing it up a year, they're now forced to make sort of 9, 10 passes. So it's really good for sort of developing them. Yeah. And they're doing
brilliant.
Stuff. that set play off the centre pass is probably the best one I've seen. Like, and we've covered like under 16s, 15s, 14s, 13s, and you know that's our under 11 girls playing a year up. So yeah, fantastic. Okay, so Oldham win a tight one against Chester. Now we will move on to Leeds against Bury, and the goalkeeper for Leeds, Jana, had herself a hell of a day. So.
Bless you, cat.
Okay, so right, this goalkeeper, Jana Kanth, I think her name is. Yeah, we'll just say some highlights here, and then we'll sort of break down a few more of her plays in more depth. But like the amount of tips she got, and not all of this is just her. A lot of also contributing is the other work of the Leeds defenders. So, but we'll talk about.
That's an excellent tip there by Jana, the Leeds goalkeeper.
Oh, great feat.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Me and my brother were discussing like about footballers and natural talent, and then there's some people just born that what she's doing is just something that's it's already built into the system. She's got a natural instinct for what she's doing.
Yeah, I said I've got about 16 highlights for her, like just from this one game.
Not today. Put you on a limit, mate. Remember that. You can come back next week.
So yeah, another tip there, and then that one goes off the Bury goal shooter. So Leeds win the ball. So yeah, picks that one up. Yeah, and she just absolutely dominated the game.
A menace, an absolute menace.
Yeah. So
she comes one of. Sorry.
Yeah, and there's I didn't want to not show one of her defensive partner, Sienna, at goal defense. She came with a great one there. So, like the other thing I'd say with her is like, it's not often we come on here and talk about lots of communication, and like you can hear like her on the court in terms of like how she's communicating with her goal defense all the time, like, you know, when the shooters are moving around and stuff like that. So again, like we talk about 14, 15, 16-year-old girls on this show sometimes. So for an under 12 girl, for her communication to be that good in terms of like pointing and being vocal, yeah, it was very impressive. So that was her sort of partner in crime, Sienna, there going through and getting one. So yeah, a complete player in terms of like linking up the play. Got a couple here. So yeah, gets the ball in here. And then when Leeds are unable to bring through the court, you can see like she's pointing here, you know, signaling clearly where she wants the ball. So just a little reset there. Then Esme looks up, can't get the ball through the court again. Back to her again there. So that's excellent. That's excellent. Here, like Sienna gets another interception, and you can see like if you look at her reaction after the interception compared to like the goal shooters, like she actually reacts like faster than anyone else on the court. So if you look, as soon as the goal defense picks this ball up, Sienna, who's the one that's like reacting? Who's the one's got their hands up fastest, demanding the ball? Jana, and then just sets the move up there. Right. Okay. So now some clips we're going to analyze in a bit more detail. All right, so yeah, so this is a fantastic one, right? So what Leeds do here really well, and we call it the squeeze, is like you try and get the wing attack in the center, like in the same position at the top of the circle. You try and squeeze them there, and then basically what that will do is like, because they're only working one space, it sort of creates an opportunity for a goalkeeper or a goal defense to then sort of attack that ball. So the ball goes into the corner, and I know Bury had a bit of a difficult day, and the girls were a little bit disappointed afterwards. But like actually, when you look back at what Bury did, like they played really well. But a lot of what they come up against in terms of like the Rivington game and this game was just like defensive play of the very highest quality. So basically here, like the goal shooter drives out and takes the ball in the corner. The wing attack's a little bit close to the ball, so it's difficult for her to present. And then you've got the Berry shooter here coming down, and she's basically got two options. She can either sort of like drive here and back cut and sort of go more to the top of the circle, or she can front cut and kind of go closer to the ball. She elects to go to the front cut, and as I said, it's not a straight drive. She fakes like she's going top, and then she just does a little front cut here and gets around the Leeds defender. Okay, but what Jaina is doing really well is reading this play incredibly well. So, right, her first priority here in this front position is to take the ball away from the goal attack. So obviously she's got the front, and Sienna, the goal defense, has got the back. And then at the same time as doing that, she's got her eyes on this Leeds centre and wing attack coming down. The Leeds defenders do well squeezing them. Esme at the top of the screen here, she's doing a good job being ball side of this wing defence. What I would say to Berry is probably you want the wing defence or the goal defence a little bit more active, presenting a reset. But if you look at Jaina's reaction here, can you see her head is like just slightly above the goal attack shoulder? So if you see her head just sort of moving to the right, she's reacting before the goal shooters release the ball. Yeah. So the two Leeds mid-quarters have squeezed the wing attack in the centre. The ball can only really go into one place, and then you see the reaction. Beautiful tip there, like fantastic defending. Yeah. Perfect team defence. Like really, there's 5 of them because the wing attack is ball side. The centre, the goal defence is good. If the Berry centre elected, instead of going like in front of the Leeds centre, it went behind her for like the long swing pass, then potentially the Leeds goal defence would be, if she was this side of her, the Leeds goal defence would have a crack at that. So yeah, it's excellent defending by Leeds, like all the way through. Right, next one. Okay, we'll just yeah. So right. This is another one. Okay, so this one here, Lee's goal attack gets the ball.
Yeah.
Jaina's right, nice front position. Goal attack doesn't feel comfortable, throw it into the goal shooter, which is excellent. Okay, so now she looks to wing attack and centre, but again, Leeds centre, ball side, Leeds wing defence, ball side. So you see the goal attack site them here. Yeah. Look how tight the Leeds defenders are to the Berry attackers. Yeah. Leeds goal defence, wide arms, making it difficult to sight the shooter, like blocking the vision, potentially blocking the pass. Berry goal attack really has no choice here. What she does have a choice here is to reset the ball. If you can see in this clip, the Berry wing defence, I think it is coming in here. Yeah. Yeah. But she doesn't quite see that, and we're gonna get to some clips later when we sort of highlight the play of Ruby Cox, the Wyre centre. Like it's difficult with sort of 11, 12 girls of that age to like get them to pass the ball like backwards, because like sometimes girls that age they feel like they need to be like moving the ball forwards to make progress. So the reset is the best option here. You can hear that, you can see by the Berry wing defences now. She's shouting clearly, but. You know, the pressure from the Leeds defenders forces this long pass. Jaina's right on the player, forces the mistake. Leeds win the ball. So next one. Okay, this is just to show like she's kind of an umpire's dream because she very rarely gets called for like obstruction or contact. Like yes, the Berry attacker gets this ball, but if you look at her technique here. Basically, you're taught like when you go for a ball like this, like you want to use your outside arm, like being your right arm rather than your left arm. So she does a really good job here, just sort of just pivoting around. Right foot gets high, contest. She's right there. Like if you actually look at the position, it looks like that the Berry attacker's in a good position and she should have no problem getting this ball. But like her foot speed and her agility is so good, like it's actually a really close, and her leaping ability as well. It's actually really close contest there, and she doesn't foul. Like if you like a lot of times the goalkeeper there, you'll see them sort of contact the body, but like she's so clean in the way that she defends. Like that's a really close contest, but she makes absolutely no contact with the Berry shooter, which is again super impressive. Okay, and the shots missed. All right, next one. This is one where, okay, so she's out of play here. On one of the rare occasions she did get called for sort of contact or obstruction, but like her reaction here, she gets around the Berry goal shooter so quickly, forces the ball into the goal attack, and creates an opportunity for her goal defense to potentially get an interception. But the goal defense just a fraction late and gets called for contact. So her play isn't just sort of generating like tips and interceptions for herself. She's generating stuff for her teammates. Next one.
Leeds score. Okay, nice first phase there taken by Flory.
Okay, so this is okay. So you think that the Berry goal shooters just in a nice shooting position is going to get the shot up, but like her activity on this shot, her leaping ability, like it puts like real doubt into the Berry's shooter's mind. That's something we've talked about with Zanea, just her sort of her presence. So I'll just show that again.
She bounces, doesn't she? She goes once and then goes twice. Yeah.
What's that?
She bounces once and then twice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's trying to get, obviously, from what I can see from the work that you've done and pointed out. Yeah, she bounces and kind of cancels as a bounce because she knows that she's not actually going to take the shot, and then she jumps up again. That's good defense.
Yes, yeah. It just creates like the Berry shooter isn't quite sure like when she's going to bounce or when she's going to jump, so she's trying to do some stuff just to upset her timing. But the thing is, as a shooter, when you've got like length at defense and you trying to want, instead of just thinking about I'm going to shoot the shot, is you thinking like I need to change my natural rhythm slightly because the goalkeeper or the goal defense is really good. It just upsets her timing a little bit, and yeah, she airballs it, and that's the presence of her goal.
Pressure of her being there, yeah.
Right. Okay. The last one is like, so this is like, so she's played a fantastic game, dominated all the way through, and with a minute and 10 to go in the game, she makes one of the best defensive, but I would say probably the best defensive play I've seen. Right, so the shooter gets the ball here. Okay, if you see here, she's having a little look just to see what the center and the wing attack for Berry are doing, and she can see that they're a little bit ahead of the Leeds wing defense and center. So the first thing she does is, if you see here, she just moves slightly to the left. Yeah, you see the Leeds, the Berry center and wing attack, they're ahead of the Leeds defenders, so potentially could receive that pass. And she just moves slightly to the left just to dissuade the goal shooter from making that pass. Okay, see it there?
Right. Yeah.
So we'll go back a little bit. If you just see her shuffle her feet slightly up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what that does is protects the top of the circle, because if the ball goes there, it's going to be easy for the Berry sort of mid quarters to feed. Okay, the next part is like unbelievable. So this is probably really the last time. Here's probably the last time she looked at them. So from here, she's just looking at the ball. She just turned her neck now and is looking at the ball. But she has the awareness that once she's taken away this pass here to the top of the circle, that even without looking at the Berry center and wing attack, that they're sort of going to funnel off around the circle. So without looking, she's like 3 moves ahead. She knows that now probably that this Leeds goal shooter is going to try and swing this ball across to, like, if you see where my mouse is, this area here, sort of at the 45 or towards the pocket, right? So if you look at the Berry center going, she's not looking at her. But if you look at Jane, right, so the Berry center's moving now. She's moving her body to anticipate that pass. Yeah?
Right.
Because she's moved. The only way she would move herself back into a sort of to the right is to anticipate that swing. So she knows that swing pass is coming, right? And she gives a great leap here.
She does,
that almost tips this swing pass to the center. Yeah?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Ooh.
Because when she looks, the center's here.
That she's got there, isn't she? She's jumped quite high. There's some height she's actually jumped to obviously anticipate it and have enough lift to get that high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But as I said, the last time she looked at the Bury centre and wing attack, right? So she is there. That's their position. So for her to see them there, but then have the anticipation to know that this centre is going to move around the circle and she needs to contest that swing pass without actually seeing her go there.
But do you reckon she's looking at the pass and looking at the head so that she knows that where that girl's looking is actually, she knows she's not going to, it's going to be far away. So that
not really, because the Bury goal shooter, she doesn't really, if you look where her feet are pointing, her feet are kind of probably pointing more to the top of the circle rather than to the pocket where the ball actually goes. So she doesn't actually pivot, and her eyes also are looking to the top. So it may be looking at the eyes, but she's anticipated this pass. Right, so she's nearly got a tip on that swing pass. If you look, she's not far away. She's gone with the right hand, which means that she thinks it's going to the pocket more than sort of to the top. And she's just missed it. However, at the same time that she's jumping and leaping for this ball to potentially get a tip, she understands that if this ball does go to the center, that the baseline's open, and this goal shoot, or I think it's a goal, is that GA? Okay, this GA for Bury will now drive the baseline. So normally in this situation, you just like jump straight up and then land and then pivot. But her anticipation is so good, as well as jumping to contest that swing pass, she pivots 180 degrees in the air so that while she lands, her eyes is now in the perfect position and her feet are in the perfect position to drive and shut off.
Yeah.
So if you look at this, while the ball's in the air, she doesn't jump straight up and go down. She pivots 180 degrees, turns, has a little look here to make sure, see where the Bury goal attack is. Centre hasn't even caught the ball yet.
See, when you slow things down, you always forget about that this is all done in a minute second.
But this is why we do sort of video analysis, right? So you can actually appreciate, like, this whole thing from beginning to end it's like 10 seconds long. But in this 10 seconds, she's done about 6 or 7 like netball skills to the highest possible standard. And this one where you sort of, like, instead of, normally you're taught to either stay on your feet and pivot or jump straight up, but she's come up with a thing where she knows. So she actually starts running down the baseline before the Bury goal attack. Yeah. So, and she's not looking at her either, because when this ball goes up, she's looking like here. So she actually knows where the Bury goal attack is going before the Bury goal attack knows herself. And the footwork to get yourself turned like this, so when the Bury goal attack goes now, she's right. She's actually in front of her. Like normally in defense, you talk about like if you're right on the attacker's back, that's good. Like if you actually look at her strides, like she's half a meter in front of her. Yeah. So the anticipation
that ball's not going to get to that goal attack at all because she's on it.
Well, and then we'll run the rest of the clip.
Oh, she's got a tip on it as well. She read that as well. There you go. Which goes back to what you said earlier about the natural ability of somebody. And
like even the international players, they don't read the game as well as that. Like the pivot in the air and just to have the awareness. Right. So these are the things she's done here. Right. So she's moved to the left here to shut off the top of the circle. Right. That shut off. But now she knows that the centre is going to come around to the pocket or to the 45. So she moves back to the right to contest that. Okay, then brilliantly, and it's an excellent swing pass by the Bury shooter. She has to get a lot of air on it to get it over the outstretched arms there. And normally when you jump that high, because you're in the air for so long, like it would be quite easy for the Bury shooter to just drive the baseline and get the next one. But because she's rotated while in the air, she actually lands and is right there with her. And then as the Bury shooter shot, she stops and turns exactly with her. That's the best I've seen. Like in your player of the year thing, you showed a couple of like interceptions from Zanair that we've covered before. But in terms of like all the work that she did like before to get this interception. And I hope that some other coaches and some other, you know, people that play the goalkeeper position at a high level can see this. But like, you have like an 11 or 12-year-old girl here, like doing like absolutely like fantastic things on the netball court. Like sometimes, like she's kind of teaching you, if you watch her play, she's teaching you things about the sport that you didn't know before. Because this jump and like 180 at the same time is like, that was kind of a new one to me. As I said, she's contested this and gone 180. The footwork's superb, her acceleration's superb. She knows where the ball is. She checks where the goal shooter is. And to finish this off, yeah. So,
do you know what? Now that you broke that down, I am literally memorized. I'm like, whoa, that is actually very impressive.
So her parents,
so quick, you don't really pick up on it on the day.
Yeah, her parents, like Leeds Athletic Netball Club, etc., should be very proud. And then just a few attacking highlights from the game. So Leeds. So at the end of the third quarter, it was 15-10. It was a bit of a scrappy affair. Berry's defense was playing well, and Jana and Sienna from Leeds were playing very well. But then in the fourth quarter, Leeds like scored 9 points. And just some clips here of and Esme in particular at wing attack for Leeds was impressive. But Leeds started to show the quality of netball that you expect from Leeds in terms of like what you saw from Izzy Taylor's team last year. Like you mentioned, Harriet Fuller's like a Player of the Year nominee. Like what you see from her team in terms of like give and goes, front cut, shooter rotation. So we've got a few clips of here from Leeds in the attack. So I think you've got like Naomi at shooter. What have we got? Hallie at goal attack, Esme at wing attack, and Anaya at centre. They really started linking up in this fourth quarter. So pass slightly astray here, but like great take there by Anaya. Like swing, and they go top. Yeah.
Good work there by the Berry goalkeeper, but Naomi just finds a sliver of space behind her to take the ball and still got that pace running.
Okay, so
Sienna taking responsibility on first fail. Tough contested ball. And Esme,
so beautiful sort of back cut there by Anaya.
And nice this kind of play where Esme just comes deep and gets the ball and then looks to link with Anaya. Penetration there through the ball.
Right. Okay, and then this is fantastic. And so like this is the Leeds brand of netball, but obviously like we said, like this Leeds team's ascending, right? Whereas the Oldham team's been consistent even from when we talk about Oldham under 12s team, from when I saw them in Nottingham in September until now. You've got sort of Rivington and Leeds sort of, you know, reaching form at the right time.
She's the one that's controlled the game in the second half of Leeds. The defence has been consistent throughout.
So in terms of Leeds, what I would say is like they scored 15 points in the first 3 quarters, and then the quality you've seen there in the fourth quarter where they've scored 9 points. Like if they want to sort of get closer, you know, obviously a very like 50-50 game against Rivington coming up. So if Leeds want to win that game, if Leeds want to get you know, closer to Oldham and the other big teams, like that, the defense was a consistent thing throughout, but the attack, they can't only produce that for in 1 quarter, like wait 3 quarters and then wake up. Sort of Esme and the shooters were quiet for the first 3 quarters. Like that quality I've shown in those clips there that they showed in the fourth quarter, they need to show that for the full game. And then when they show that for the full game, then that's showing the quality of, you know, Harriet Fuller's team, which is a year older. What you saw from sort of the other team last year, where they both got to the final of your grand finals. So yeah, that's Leeds.
Well, I don't know.
Defense and a little bit of attack. Right. So now we will go to Wyre.
I was gonna say, can we catch up with this next week or something? It's like 9:30, mate.
Yeah, 9:30.
I haven't got much to go. It's going to take Those were the 2 main bits.
We've got to put pressure on you, boy, because you know you'll go on here for 5 hours. What do you reckon, Rick?
No, I'm not going to go on here for 5 hours. I haven't got so many things. So
stream's going to run out soon. Yeah, go on then.
Okay, well, how long till the stream runs out?
Another 10 odd minutes before it starts.
Right, okay. Okay, so Wyre against Oaksway. So Oaksway was winning by 6 points at the end of the first quarter. And then Wyre pulled it to with 1 at the end of the fourth quarter. Oaksway was winning 29-25 with 6 minutes to go. And then Wyre went on a 9-0 run to end the game. Right, we're going to look at some clips here, look at some centres. Ruby Cox and the rest of the Wyre team. And what I want you to focus on in these clips is how many of the Wyre players are touching the ball, and also the length of the passes. So, yeah, excellent interception there by the goalkeeper, I think that's Freya Newton.
We're going for the refeeds, but yeah, that was nice.
Okay, so that's one. All 7 players from Wyre touched the ball in this clip. So we'll just show this one again. So goalkeeper, centre, goalkeeper again, centre, goal defence, wing attack, goal shooter, centre, goal attack. So because this Wyre team hasn't got masses of height, it like takes contributions from all like 7 players and multiple contributions to bring the ball through the court. And like with like 5 minutes to go, you see they're still 3 points down with like 5 minutes to go in a tight game. Very impressive. Here's another one. 11 passes. Again, every player touches the ball.
That's quite impressive.
It's a bit like those sessions when you're as a kid, you only can score a goal when everyone's touched the ball.
Yeah, and I said all of these passes very short, not the typical style that you would see like in the Northwest where we talk about the successful teams with the long sort of overhead passes, etc. This is short, sharp, fast. Yeah, when they miss a shot, tiny shooters, but they get the big rebound. And then this is the best one I love. And now we spoke earlier about sort of the Bury team. On one, the wing defense and the goal defense weren't presenting a reset option, and then the other one, the wing defense did present an option, but the goal attack kind of like chose to go to the shooter and giving the ball gave the ball to her. So we look at a centre pass here. So we see the goal attack got the ball here. Like normally, if you watch Oldham and stuff, like when the goal attack touches the ball, like usually it'll be a shot or it'll go to the shooter. But like with Wyre, because they haven't got masses of height, sometimes like the first and the second option get shut down. So you see a loose ball, like Ruby Cox picks the ball up here. Right, can I go forward? No. Reset, use my wing defense. Give and go, use my goal defense. And then in shooter, missed, but a big rebound again. So I'd say like with Wyre, because the team isn't particularly tall, like to execute that style of netball when you're giving up height at pretty much every position and you're having to make 15 passes, like 11 passes with every player touching the ball to score in a tight game. And you finished a tight game against Oaksway where I think the first time they were winning was with like 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter or less. Excellent from Wyre, because you think you've got 7 players touching the ball. Like if one of them makes a mistake, one of them drops it, makes a bad pass, does a footwork, potentially they don't win this game. So the fact that Wyre, with the style of play, the coaching is excellent. For the coach to get a style of play that suits the characteristics of her player. And I know that 3 of the girls are on that team, Ruby Cox being one, Sophie Cudlett, the goal attack in these clips being the other, in Thunder. Fantastic job, coaching job by the Wyre coaches. Right, and so we'll look at a couple of other centres. So we've got, okay, so this is Emily Brooks from Rivington. So I say I was watching England the other day, like Imogen Allison played the whole game and England sort of seemed to have a lack of options off the bench to give her a break. But like when you look at this under 12 North, there's real depth at the centre position. So, you know, I would say like we're looking at Emily Brooks here. In terms of Ruby Cox, she's a bit like the conductor of an orchestra. or she makes sure that all the 6 other players like on the court touch the ball. She'll go sideways. If the forward option's not on, she'll go backwards. She'll reset the ball. So that's her strength. In terms of Emily here, it's more about her explosiveness. So you see an interception here. Yeah, another interception here. Okay, another interception there off the centre pass.
Yeah, I did have interception on my highlight reel, like of Rivington. I went onto the Rivington sheet, and it was just interception.
I think you had a stutter when you're looking at it back and going, "Hang on."
And that's 5, yeah. So that's 5 screamers she took here, and then there's another sort of pickups and stuff that she got that would be counted as interceptions. So in terms of like comparing her, and then we're gonna, we've got a couple of clips of Sophie Harrison, the Oldham centre. Like what makes Emily special is her explosiveness, the ability to get these interceptions, and then again, she plays football for Manchester City. So, that would sort of speak of her athletic prowess. And then in terms of attack, just get the ball here.
Oh, shoulder pass. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But we've basically done an entire like video analysis of the Northwest, and we haven't no shoulder passes. So I said, yeah, that one was good. Just just get it here. Long shoulder pass though. So the style is different from Wyre, who is like short. But again, very successful here. Another one here. Just get it. Give. Get it back. Pivot. Feed.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So as I said, in terms of like attacking and defending, it's the explosiveness and the interceptions on defending, and then on attack, when she does pass the ball and release it, just that explosiveness to go and just literally like outrun your opposition center and take the next one and feed, right? And then last but not least, we have Sophie Harrison, the Oldham center. So this is to begin the game. So again, excellent on the center pass. Yeah, give me that one. Feed, get it back. So I say, but before I show the couple others, I would say like her strength is sort of she gets some interceptions, but like the touch on her feet, like she has an excellent connection with Marnie, the shooter. So when she feeds the ball, she almost kind of caresses the ball in there, and it's so easy for the shooter to just like get the ball out of the air. She puts like fantastic touch on it, just a nice trajectory, and it's kind of like just falling into the pocket every time. So we'll show another one here. So she just picks up the ball here, and then down the court, nice little change of direction. And again, if you look at it looks simple, but like if you just look at the touch on this feed, she throws the ball. It doesn't really seem to move that fast, but it's just going to the perfect spot every time. Okay, so here's another one of her linking play. Yeah, just brilliant, drives through across the front there. Perfect feed again.
So overall, watching these games on Saturday, how impressed were you with this particular league, Hayden?
Okay, right. This is the last clip. This is just an interception from Sophie, just to show her defensive prowess. Just undercuts the center there and picks that one up, and then she's off. But I've said before, like this is the strongest age group in the country, right? So not just the North, but in the South, Rosie Miles is a Player of the Year sort of nominee for you. You've got Millie Smith there. You've got Camille, the shooter for Shan, Thomasina at AP Saints. So I would say, like, out of all, I think, like with the ENG leagues and stuff, it seems like as you're getting younger, the quality of netball seems to be growing or increasing. And then as we do these review shows, and like I know like some of the stuff that Oldham does, like in terms of the set plays, like we're kind of giving away a couple of their secrets, but they're still extremely successful. And then you're seeing like more teams do these kinds of things at a lower age group. So I think we are getting sort of, you know, that teams are absorbing these ideas and putting them into place. So hopefully we get to the point, like you talk about Hearts Dynamos and Essex Open, like we've got new teams sort of coming into the league, you know, playing at a very high standard, you know, and while the Northwest dominates and every time they go to like, be it your final or an England Netball Nationals and there's like 18 teams and they're getting sort of 2 of the top 4, England will never be like the world #1 team. They can win games against Australia, but in terms of like having the depth to be a world #1 team, you need the standards that shown like in this, what I've shown today in the Northwest, replicated across the whole country. Like Yorkshire should have more than one team, right? Just having Leeds Athletic from a big place
I
like
agree.
Yorkshire, yeah, it's not enough, right? You know, the East Midlands, like we need, I know Cambridge is there, but I'd like to see like a superstar player from Cambridge, like sort of from that Cornwall and Devon area. So I think that the standards we see like here and in your under-12s league, like we need, yeah, reflected across the whole country.
Oh, we're trying our best, aren't we, Martin? We're trying our best, mate.
Honestly, you tell me a sport that has as much video footage as netball grassroots.
So yeah, so obviously the video footage, and you know, we showed. Didn't want to show too much of Oldham under-12s because I know they've got a big game at the weekend. But you know, just looking at what Oldham under-11s are doing defensively, and just the fact like that set play that they've got, like when people see that Oldham is teaching like their under-11s to do that, hopefully that inspires coaches. But even the girls, you see, I think when these Oldham girls get a bit older, not necessarily the coaches coming up with those ideas. The girls will watch like Suncorp or Super League, because what you're doing by introducing that stuff at such a young age is you're getting the girls to think about the sport sort of in a, you know, in a technical way, and in, you know, in a way where you sort of scheme and plan rather than just thinking about like cuts and drives and feeds. They're, you know, they're planning stuff that involves 3 or 4 players. But yeah, again, for an under-11s team to run a set play where, you know, with a screen and which involves the wing defense feeding from the halfway line with a first pass of the game is highly impressive.
Well, thank you for the insight. Again.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who's watched tonight. It's been a long one. Time has flown, but it's been a great show. So Martin, thank you. Hayden, thank you. And we look forward to we're at the under-13s this Saturday, and we kick off the Netball Cup, which is always a crowd pleaser. So under-13s Northern Conference this week on Saturday, and Sunday the Midlands under-10s, under-12s Netball Cup. You can feel the energy building, can't you, Martin?
You can definitely for the 10-minute games, mate. Fire on a stick.
There you go.
Throw it. It's like a Molotov cocktail of energy as soon as you walk into the room. There you go. All right, everybody, don't forget to subscribe.
Been a pleasure.
As always, catch you all next week and hopefully on the weekend.